Hello, I'm Bunnery.
I'm Brad Mower,
and this is
IFXtra.
So, after the excitement of last week's birthday stream, here we are, back to normal, as usual. We had a good birthday stream there, didn't we?
Yeah, it was great, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, you can still watch a replay of it over on mixer.com/interference for another week before it disappears off there. But I've got a copy and I'll be putting it on YouTube at some point anyway.
Yeah, we all did some drawing, didn't we?
Yeah, it was great. So, yeah, the three of us were here. Ferret was here as well. We all had our cool Interference 9th birthday shirts. You can get yours from playinterference.com/store. We did a little bit of live drawing, so it's a bit like an Interference and Chill with the quiz, and we had some cake, and we just kind of had a bit of a chat about stuff as well. It was really good.
All these years we've been doing it.
Yeah, time goes really quickly.
But we had a good quiz, and you're still working on the quiz, aren't you?
Yes,
the new version.
I mean, it's been a really busy week after all of this birthday stuff. As ever, we're still doing work to pay the bills and things, and I'm just trying to kind of sneak in bits of quiz development around that. So I don't know. I feel like I've only managed to, I don't know, do that maybe 2 hours this week on it. It's just a struggle fitting everything in. But it's coming along. Last week, I got pressured into saying it would be finished for Sunday.
Will it?
I think
Should we try it?
It's possible, but unlikely.
Okay.
But I don't want to let everyone down. And because I've been pressured into saying that it would be done, I think that's kind of what I'm going to be doing all weekend to try and get it done in time. I mean, it's sort of working. I mean, it's not been tested at all. There's no leaderboards, and a load of the cool new stuff, which was half of the point of doing this, isn't ready yet. But you know, the idea of it shows a question, well, it shows the inspiration item, asks some questions, you can vote on the answers and things. That does work. So, you know, the core part's there.
Cool.
I don't know, just need to see how much I get done before 7 o'clock on Sunday. That'd be crazy. Before 5 o'clock on Sunday.
So coming on to the quiz, see what happens.
If you've been following me talking about this, you'll know one of the things we're going to be doing is starting seasons of the quiz.
We can do that still, can't we?
Yeah. So I mean, there's nothing whatsoever to do with, you know, the fact that like me and Ferret used to play Apex, and you know that had like seasons and stuff. But yeah, maybe that was an inspiration. So we're going to have quiz seasons, and so we're going to be tracking stats for people across. I mean, at the minute, 4 seasons a year, so quarters basically. Even if we aren't ready with the new software, I am tracking the data anyway. So it's going to be quiz season 1. Everything else was season 0 as a learning experience. But it's going to be quiz season 1 starting on this week's quiz. So tomorrow's quiz, we're going to be tracking data for this for like a few months, so regular players will be able to see how they're doing over a longer time span. So yeah, that should be pretty cool. So even if we're not ready to be showing that information, we are collecting it. And we'll just start showing it in a later week.
Oh, cool.
It'll be good though.
So who did Interference and Chill this week?
That was me.
It was.
As well. Yeah. Interference and Chill. So if you haven't caught that, it's our weekly interactive drawing stream, normally with Ferret. However, she's also doing work to pay bills and things, and that seems to fall on Wednesday a lot of the time. So I've been covering Interference and Chill, which is why I've done sort of like, I don't know, I seem to kind of do like 2 for every one that she does. We're maybe looking at rescheduling it, because we think if it's later in the week, like maybe Thursday or something, that might work out better for her, and she'd be able to do more of them. I think it's nicer when she does it.
Because you just have an hour instead of an hour and a half.
We might kind of sync it up with the quiz as well. So maybe go 7 to 8 rather than 6:30 to 8. But you know, you probably want to see her instead of me anyway, because you see me on Sunday for the quiz, and I think it's a bit of a variety for people seeing someone else on Wednesdays or whatever day. Anyway, watch this space. We will work it out. I've had a brief chat with her about it, but we haven't worked out the details. So it will be changing potentially at some point in the future, maybe next week, maybe the week after.
We'll give you some warning.
But yeah, we'll give you some warning. It'll be mentioned in these videos.
Yeah.
It'll be on the website.
Yeah,
It'll
keep
be
it
on the
main
Mixer channel.
page. Yeah. Brilliant.
But yeah, if you would like to see some of my drawings on Interference and Chill, the replay for there will be up for about 10 days or so. And you can see that on mixer.com/interference.
See a werewolf.
Yeah, I drew a terrible female werewolf, and I did a passable Spider-Man themed drawing.
Ooh.
And what was the one that was quite good?
Oh gosh, with stars in it. Was that the one? Oh no, that was the werewolf.
That was the werewolf.
I
did something and it was quite good.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
See what you think.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Now it's time to see who won this week's awards. Picture of the week this week goes to Sinus for happy birthday because it's an amazing IFX birthday cake. It's even got 9 candles. It's even got pencils as candles. That's so perfect. It's the logo for IFX. Wonderful work, Sinus.
My favourite description this week was, "Unibrows aren't so bad if you're a Cyclops," by Lady Blades. I just thought it was an interesting point. I'd not really thought about it before, but Cyclopses would only need 1 eyebrow. Nice work, Lady Blades.
Community pick of the week this week goes to Lukunda for Frozen Fire. That is such a beautiful, cold-looking drawing, but it's got heat as well. That's amazing. Well done, Lukunda. They were amazing.
Awesome stuff there, as always.
Cool. Now it's time to see what we were talking about last week on the forums. So last week I was asking you what podcast you listen to, because everyone's listening to podcasts these days.
It is the in thing.
There are so many about, and I just wanted some recommendations. I used to watch, listen to Death in Ice Valley, which is like some kind of true crime mystery that they're trying to solve, and it's still going on now. But have you listened to any in particular?
Not really. I used to listen to Nerds Chatting when at the gym, because like you guys used to like go to a yoga thing and I'd go on a treadmill, and I'd listen to this Nerds Chatting thing. It was mostly sort of like about kind of comic books and things, which I'm not really. Well, it's not that I'm not into, but not a big thing for me. But they'd also talk about like all of the MCU movies and things like that were coming out. So that was quite cool.
We started with Welcome to Night Vale, didn't we?
Yes,
that was our first one.
which
awesome.
is which is what Phantom suggested as well.
Okay, yeah.
Saying her cousin got her into it a couple of years ago, got through a couple of seasons, so I started listening again in season 3. For those of you wondering what it's about, imagine a world where everything is so perfect and ordinary as to be boring. Now imagine the opposite of that. Are you imagining it? Are you holding that horrifying image in your mind, clutching it tightly to your chest, locking it firmly in your soul? Can you make that image worse? Yes, like that. Exactly like that. That's Night Vale.
It's very weird and surreal.
Yeah, it's very interesting though, because it's basically it's like listening to a community radio station.
Exactly.
But it all goes badly wrong. It's like actually a story. But you hear everything through the radio. Like the presenter of this show.
So cool.
Yeah, but it's really, really well done. We actually went to see a live recording of it. Well, it wasn't a live recording of the podcast, but it was like a live show they did.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It was The Investigators.
Is that what they called it?
I think, yeah.
I got a t-shirt.
Yeah, well, I did as well, yeah. Which I think probably worked really well in the US when they did it, but it didn't really work as well in the UK because there was meant to be sort of like, not audience participation, but like, you were supposed to sort of pick out like a random in somewhere else in the audience who was going to kind of be like your co-person for this, and then every so often they'd be like, find your partner and then like make eye contact with them and shake your finger and all this, and
we're British.
We're British. We don't do that kind of stuff. And everyone just kind of sat there, like, trying not to make eye contact. And it kind of didn't really work. It was great, though.
It was funny, yeah.
But yeah, Welcome to Night Vale is excellent. If you do try it, you need to stick with it for the first few, because at first you'll just be like, what is this? But it's great.
It's very cool. Yeah. Amber Hopkins said that she listens to 25 episodes of Under the Influence.
Oh yeah, in the past 48 hours, because it's all they had on iTunes.
Wow, I've not heard of that one. No,
No.
Under the Influence.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Mighty Mo subscribes to quite a few.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mighty Mo is the king of podcasts, it seems, and there wasn't really enough space to fit it all on our note sheet, so I can't go through them all. But if you are looking for podcasts to listen to, check out Mighty Mo's post in the podcast thread.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some that he mentioned were Fingers on Buzzers, which is the quiz podcast
quizzes,
that you were mentioned on, and The Comedian's Comedian, is that what it's called?
Yeah, we listened to one of those, didn't we? It was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Very technical behind the scenes, how to be a comedian, how to get your audience all like involved and all that kind of thing. Technical stuff, isn't it? Some of it. Yeah, it's really interesting though.
Yeah. But I mean, there are all kinds of other ones which I haven't listened to.
Go and check that out in the general discussions. You'll find it quite easily.
Yeah, and if you've got any suggestions as well, we'd love to see them in there.
Yeah, we want more suggestions, big bro. Okay, it's time to see what we're going to be talking about next week in the podcast. I mean, in the forums. Time for a new forum game. This one is called Change One Word. We start with a 2-word phrase and the next player has to just change one of those words to make a new phrase. For example, drawing game, football game, game player, hockey stick, stick man, etc., etc. Okay, I will start. Dark night.
If you'd like to chime in with that, then just head over to the general discussion forum. It's the pinned thread for the week, so you'll find it at the top of the thread list.
Cool. Okay, well, don't forget tomorrow night is quiz night. And if you've never played it before, how does it work?
Yeah, it's basically a live interactive online quiz. So we do it over on our Mixer channel, mixer.com/interference, every Sunday at 7 p.m. UK time. And it's a bit like a pub quiz with different rounds, all multiple choice, but you can play along from the comfort of your own home. Yeah. And each round is based on one of the week's cool drawings from Interference.
I know. Yeah, I've already chosen the drawings this week.
Who have we got this week as featured
this
artists?
Week we've got Zoe Louise, I think, Kylie 80, Demon Carrot, that sounds scary, Mifa, and Mashington 108.
Nice.
That's a cool name.
Demon Carrot as well,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So they've all done awesome drawings this week in Interference, and I've looked at them and thought, I could base a round of questions on that. So you don't know anything about that yet?
No. Well, I don't see any of these ahead of time. So I kind of play along with you. Most of the time, I've just sort of been babbling about what I think it might be. But actually, for this birthday thing last week, I actually played along on a phone.
Did you win?
No.
Who won last week?
I got to see my name on the leaderboard for a change.
Cool.
So yes, the way it works is we give you points if you're right, and there's even bonus points if you're the fastest correct answer. So we add all of that up, and then at the end we see who did the best. And last week that was Grinning Goose, who finished in first place on 231 points.
It's been a while since she's been top of the.
Yeah, it's true. We've had a few other people up there, haven't we?
Yeah.
Crash Thatch was in second place on 201, and Jess, aka Pointy Cat Ears, was in third place on 197.
Yeah,
so
really good scores.
Nice scores for the top three there.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so the last quiz of season 0.
So if you want to get in on season 1. Join us at 7 o'clock on Sunday nights.
Yeah, exactly. So as I say, as we go through this next season, we'll be able to sort of show stats of kind of like how people have been doing for the last few weeks and things. There'll probably be like a web version of this that you can go on and look at your own stats and things as well.
Cool,
so that'd be quite cool. We want to give people something to kind of strive for. Yeah.
So get in on that. Okay, so have we got any more news this week?
That's about it, aside from if you like my shirt or you fancy any kind of Interference shirt, remember you can buy all of this stuff at the Interference store, playinterference.com/store. Well, I say the Interference store, it's actually the Centrifuge Games store, because you can get things from Interference, you can get birthday shirts, logo shirts, you can get drawings on a shirt, but there's also things from our other games as well, like Rogue Drones, and you can get hats and bags and aprons. You can get a Vedatka apron, it looks awesome, I really want one.
You do.
But Bornery says it's a waste of money, so I haven't got one.
I didn't say that. I only implied it.
Yeah. But yeah, playinterference.com/store. There's all kinds of awesome stuff on there. And anything you buy all goes towards the running costs of the game.
Yeah.
This does actually remind me of one other thing. I should have checked something in the week. So we do also have a Patreon, because when we do the quiz, a few people have said, well, you know, we want to help support this. We want to help it keep going. You should have a Patreon. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it lets you sort of pledge a monthly amount to creators so that they have a bit of regular income.
Yeah.
And so the last couple of weeks, we have actually posted the Patreon link, and we had a new supporter last week. And we say, like, you know, we'll name drop people, but I didn't check if they wanted us to actually say who it was. So we'll name drop them next week after I've had a chance to email them and check it's okay. But if you do enjoy all of this stuff we do and you want to give us a bit of monthly support, then yeah, you can see us on Patreon. And that would be very, very much appreciated.
Cool. Okay, so that's all the news for this week. Do you want to say anything else?
I thought you were going to set me up
yeah,
for my social links.
Well, you've already said a bit.
Sorry,
so I thought,
sorry,
has he said it all? Okay, it just goes to say.
Yeah, if you're not already taking part in the game, then get involved at playinterference.com.
Yeah.
You can also follow us on Twitter at PlayIFX or on Facebook at PlayInterference. And we do now have this Patreon at patreon.com/interference if you would like to give us a bit of monthly support. It goes towards the running costs of the game, working on adding new features, the quiz, all of this stuff that we do, feeding the cats as well. And any support you can give us is very much appreciated.
Definitely. Okay, that's it for this week then. We'll see you next time.
Have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Bye.